Who hasn't pulled an all-nighter until 3 a.m. binge-watching a K-drama, sighing over that main couple and thinking, my God, they were born for each other. It's almost inevitable. The Korean entertainment industry is a master at selling the perfect fantasy. We see those passionate gazes, the slow-motion kisses, the chemistry that seems to spark on screen, and our fan brains automatically start creating theories. We want to believe it's real. But what if I told you that often what's happening behind the scenes is worthy of a horror movie? That's right. The reality of a film set can be brutal. Today, we are going to destroy some illusions, but for a good reason. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of 5 dramas that you probably loved, cheered for, and shipped. Wrongly. We're going to investigate cases where professionalism was tested to the limit, where hate, discomfort, and coldness ruled the moment the director yelled, "Cut." If you think you know everything about your favorite couples, get ready. Today's list ranges from stars who completely ignored each other to controversial cases involving divorces and nearly ruined careers. Kim Jong-hyun and Seo-hyun. Let's start with a case that wasn't just awkward tension, it was a full-blown public scandal. We're talking about the drama Time and the lead couple formed by Kim Jong-hyun and Seo-hyun. When Time was announced, the expectation was for a dense, heavy melodrama about a man with little time left to live. What no one expected was that the lead actor would turn his co-star's life into a personal hell. Ground zero for this disaster was the press conference. Usually, this is the moment to sell the image. Smiles, finger hearts, linking arms. But what we saw was, without exaggeration, one of the most cringeworthy scenes in Korean TV history. Seo-hyun, always professional and elegant, tried the basics. She asked to link arms with Kim Jong-hyun for the official photos. His reaction? He dodged away. He physically refused the contact, with a closed-off, apathetic expression, as if her touch were toxic. At the time, the agency's excuse was method acting. They said he was so immersed in the character, who was a sick, terminal man, that he couldn't break character even to give an interview. A lot of people bought this story at first. After all, actors are eccentric artists, right? The truth, which came to light years later through leaked messages, was much more disturbing. Kim Jong-hyun's icy and hostile behavior on set wasn't art. It was control. It was revealed that, at the time, he was in a relationship with actress Seo Ye-ji, who demanded that he have absolutely no physical, romantic, or even friendly contact with the female staff, and especially with Seo-hyun. Reports from the production crew described an unbearable work environment. They say that after scenes where he was forced to touch Seo-hyun's hand by the script, he would wipe his hands with wet wipes right in front of her. Imagine the level of humiliation. Seo-hyun, according to sources, cried several times on set, feeling disrespected and isolated, but she kept her head up and delivered her work until the end. The drama was ruined. The script had to be rewritten to eliminate romantic scenes, the chemistry went down the drain, and eventually Kim Jong-hyun abandoned the production alleging health issues, leaving Seo-hyun to carry the drama on her back alone. This is the classic example that sometimes what we see on screen is just the broken reflection of a chaotic backstage. Koo Hae-sun and An Jae-hyun. Now let's talk about a different kind of hate, the kind that is born disguised as love. The case of Koo Hae-sun and An Jae-hyun in Blood is perhaps the saddest on this list, because we, the audience, were taken for fools twice. Blood had everything to be a teen hit. Vampires, surgeons, a forbidden romance. During its airing, the drama was harshly criticized for the acting, which many considered strange and lacking chemistry. But then came the plot twist. We found out they were dating in real life. Suddenly, all criticisms were forgotten. Oh, they're truly in love, how beautiful! The marriage came quickly. It seemed like a fairy tale. But if we rewind the tape and look at the behind the scenes of Blood with the information we have today, the story changes. Staff reports that resurfaced after the couple's messy divorce indicate that the film set was already a minefield. An Jae-hyun was seen as inexperienced for such a complex lead role, and Koo Hae-sun, who besides being an actress is a director and known for being very demanding and a perfectionist, frequently got frustrated with his performance. Witnesses claim there was enormous creative tension. While in front of the cameras, they tried to sell the romance of the passionate vampire, behind the scenes there were arguments about the tone of scenes and a lot of impatience. What looked like shyness or cuteness in the making of videos can today be interpreted as real discomfort. The tragedy of this couple is that the real-life romance tried to save the drama's professional failure, but the foundation was already rotten. When the divorce exploded in the media years later, it was a war. Koo Hae-sun released messages, accused him of negligence, of bad-mouthing her to their agency's CEO, and described a devastating emotional coldness. Rereading the reports from the Blood era, it's clear the signs were there. The disconnection on screen wasn't just bad acting. It was the reflection of two personalities that, professionally and personally, were on totally opposite frequencies. Lee Da-hae and Lee Dong-wook. This one is going to hurt the hearts of the OG K-drama fans. My Girl is a classic. It's that drama that defined the Hallyu wave for many people. The chemistry between the cute con artist played by Lee Da-hae and the heir played by Lee Dong-wook is legendary. They seem to have a complicity of years, the kind where we think, they surely became best friends after this. I'm sorry to inform you, but the reality was much colder. Unlike the previous cases where there were fights or scandals, here the hate manifested in the form of absurd indifference. Sources linked to the My Girl production revealed over the years that as soon as the cameras turned off, each went to their own corner. There were no animated conversations, no inside jokes, no lunches together. It was strictly, good morning, let's record, thank you, bye. For the viewer, this is shocking because their dynamic on screen is based on a lot of physical interaction, funny fights, and intimate moments. How is it possible to create that without liking the person? The answer is simple. They are exceptional actors. There were rumors at the time that their personalities didn't match. Lee Dong-wook, known for being more introverted and focused, and Lee Da-hae, with a different working style, simply didn't click. The atmosphere on set was described as heavy on days of important scenes, where silence reigned. Production even got worried about whether the romantic chemistry would work, because in rehearsals, the energy was zero. The biggest proof of this distance is the post-drama era. While other successful couples from 2005 and 2006 often have reunions, do commercials together, or at least interact on social media, Lee Da-hae and Lee Dong-wook followed parallel paths that never crossed. It was a job, a well-done job that fooled us completely, but left no longing for either of them. Nam Joo-hyuk and Bae Suzy. We return now to a more recent case that generated a lot of discussion on the internet. Startup. This drama was already controversial on its own because of the second lead syndrome. Many people preferred the other romantic partner. But what we're going to focus on here is the relationship of the main couple, Nam Joo-hyuk and Suzy. Netflix sold this couple as the epitome of young entrepreneurial romance. However, those who followed the behind-the-scenes released by the network itself started to notice something strange. Fans with eagle eyes noticed that Nam Joo-hyuk's body language towards Suzy was distant, to say the least. In several making-of videos, Suzy, who is known in the industry for her bright personality and for trying to keep the mood light, would make jokes or try to start a conversation and receive monosyllabic answers or expressions of pure boredom from him. It didn't take long for rumors from insiders to surface, alleging that Nam Joo-hyuk was frequently in a bad mood on set. Reports pointed to a certain impatience from him during filming with Suzy, creating a walking on eggshells atmosphere. It wasn't a shouting match, but that kind of passive rudeness that makes everyone uncomfortable. This became so evident that part of the audience started to justify the lack of chemistry on screen with these rumors. Many viewers commented, "They are beautiful, but it looks like they are acting to a wall." When you know that behind the scenes he barely looked at her during breaks, the lack of sparks in the kiss scenes makes perfect sense. Park Shin-hye and Lee Min-ho. To close with a flourish, we have the titans of the industry. The Heirs isn't just a drama, it's a cultural event. Lee Min-ho and Park Shin-hye together? It was supposed to be the maximum explosion of charisma, and on screen, they delivered. The drama was an absurd success worldwide, but behind the scenes, there was a war of egos and discomfort. The relationship between the two was always described as strictly professional, an elegant term for, we are not friends. However, the breaking point, the moment that sealed the hate, or the eternal discomfort between them, was the infamous closet kiss scene. For those who don't remember, it's a scene where Lee Min-ho's character kisses Park Shin-hye's character by surprise, and with quite some intensity. The controversy is this. Park Shin-hye revealed in later interviews that she didn't know the kiss would happen that way. The script indicated something subtler, but the director and Lee Min-ho reportedly agreed, without warning her, to do something more passionate to capture her genuine reaction of surprise. The problem is that her reaction wasn't just character surprise, it was real discomfort. If you rewatch the scene today, you'll see she grabs his clothes tightly, not out of passion, but out of tension. Behind the scenes, it is said she was extremely upset with the situation. Being caught by surprise in an intimate scene is a breach of trust between scene partners. After that episode, the mood on set, which wasn't the warmest to begin with, froze completely. They finished filming keeping their distance. In subsequent award shows, the interaction between them was always rigid, polite, but without a drop of affection. It is fascinating to think that one of the most iconic couples, featured on notebooks and posters to this day, was marked by an episode of miscommunication. The Heirs teaches us that sometimes the overwhelming passion we see on screen may have been built at the expense of one of the participants' well-being. And you? Were you shocked by any of these couples? Is there any other drama where you felt the chemistry was a bit forced and suspect there was drama behind the scenes? I want to know your detective opinion. Leave it in the comments below. Which of these couples fooled you the most? I'll be reading and replying to the best comments in the first few hours.